Keep heading. Today's class we are going to see the most important concept in entire physics. So that is only projectile motion. So this is first lecture in projectile motion. I think, can you hear me, everybody? So actually, this is the most important and as well as very interesting concept. So surely the question will used to ask in NEET and as well as JEE mains and even advanced also. So let us discuss projectile motion. So motion in a we can say like motion in a plane actually. So we all knows already we studied in second chapter motion in a plane like rainwater problems and as well as uh, river boat problems and all two-dimensional motion. So it will be representing the similar to that. So we can make it. So also we can say so motion in a plane that is only we used to call motion in how many dimensions? All of you, motion in two dimensions. Okay. So motion in two dimensions means we all knows that motion in two dimensions means immediately what axis will comes? All of you. So x-axis and as well as x-axis, y-axis will come. So y-axis and as well as x-axis. So these are the two axes we are going to see. So first of all, understand projectile motion means the general meaning of projectile motion. So whenever if you are finding a projectile motion, so means indicates that it is motion under gravity. So it is not the new thing for us. Of course, from class 9th, you are studying the same thing. So similar to that, if you are good in that basics, it will be very simple here. So motion under the gravity. The concept will be very simple, but looks is very, very tough. So motion under gravity, we all people knows that. So a ball is thrown upwards, a ball is coming downwards, free fall. We used to study in class 9th gravitation chapter. Am I correct, everybody? All of you. So I think you all people knows also. Even the class 11th also I have taught you. So when the ball is thrown upwards, when the ball is freely falling, so always we all knows that is accelerated motion. Is it yes or no, all of you? So it is accelerated motion. So now let us see that. So class 11th, if you take it, so projectile motion means that is what motion under gravity. So motion under gravity, that is only we will consider as a motion in a plane. So means in the sense of motion in how many dimensions? All of you. Motion
Two-dimensional.
two dimensions. Okay. So for example, let me consider this is my particle. So which is having two dimensions. This is x-axis and this one is what we used to call. This will become y-axis. Now if the ball is thrown like this, for example, you are having a ball. If the ball is thrown like that, after traveling some distance, again the ball will come to the surface. Am I right, everybody? Suppose if a boy is here, now if a boy throw the ball like this, so the ball will go and will take the ground again into the same position. Yes or no, guys? Same level. Is it right, everybody? Yes. So this is only ways to basically say projectile motion. So let us understand. So at every path, the particle is here or here when it is on the way its path. So everywhere it will be having motion will be in two different directions. That is what one is in x-axis, another one is what axis? Everybody, y-axis. Yes or no? All of you, please respond. So this is only ways to called as what is to call? Yes, please. We is to called as projectile motion. Now, as it is, once it will reaches to the maximum height, then g value it won't act like y direction, it won't act upward. Y direction it will act what? When it is going upward, it will act up direction. When it is coming downwards, it will act in the downward direction. So that is what you have to remember. So this is only ways to call. What is to call? Everybody? Projectile motion. Now, if you observe very carefully, as we all know, the body is traveling like against to gravity. So it does not have any kind of like, as we all know, every part here or here, everywhere you take, G value acting only in Y direction or it is acting only in X direction, everywhere. So we all know due to acceleration. So acceleration due to gravity, every point on its path, it is acting only in what direction, everybody? It will act only in the Y direction. So that is what A. So A is equals to Z. So Z is only in which direction? All of you? So only it is in y direction, and that also it is acting downward direction. So a is equals to minus g or plus g, all of you. Whatever it is,
Minus.
always g is minus. So now, if you take, what about the acceleration in x direction? So if you take everywhere, so acceleration in the x direction is what? It is not against to gravity. So acceleration in x direction, if you have taken, always what it is that, everybody? So acceleration is equal to how much, ra? X direction.
0.
All of you? 0. So means in the
0.
sense of, we all knows, Mr. Pradosh, acceleration 0 means something is constant. Can you tell me what is constant? All of you?
V.
Yes.
Velocity.
Velocity is constant. Always remember in x-axis in this projectile motion, x-axis always the velocity, initial velocity, whatever it is, velocity in x direction is always remains what? Everybody. X direction is
Constant.
constant. So that is why acceleration will become what? Everybody? 0.
0.
Yeah. So that is what you have to remember. Now, let me consider at this particular path. So I have been thrown the ball with some angle. So with some angle with the x-axis. So we are very, very familiar with that. So let me again draw. So this is the path taken by the body. So body is reached to here, starting from here. Now, so this is the x-axis and the body has been thrown with some, like we can see, it has been thrown with some initial velocity. It has been thrown with some initial velocity u, and it is making the angle with the surface with the theta. So now, what is the velocity in both x-axis and y-axis? This is the velocity in x-axis. We can say velocity in x-axis is equals to, what is the resultant force here? Resultant is u. So u cos theta sin theta will come here. This is x-axis,
Cos theta.
cos theta, and opposite here. So perpendicular to that, what will happen? Everybody, here also
U sin theta.
uy, that is velocity in y direction, which is equals to what? Everyone, u
Sin theta.
So write it neatly. Do you all understand, everybody? This is velocity in x
Yes, sir.
direction, and this is velocity in y direction. U sin theta, and here what will come? U, all of you,
Cos.
cos theta. So that the angle between the surface and the x-axis, you can see that that is only wish to say angle of projection, or we can say angle of angle projected. So this is the body. So the angle between here, the initial velocity and the x-axis, this theta only we used to call, what we used to call? Angle of, yes, please.
Sir.
Angle of projection. Okay. So angle of projection we used to say. So now, if you take this body in anywhere, as we already proved, understanding? So as we already proved, x-axis everywhere, what is the acceleration in x-axis? All of you. So acceleration
0.
is equals to 0. So let me take now x-axis and y-axis. So what is x-axis? What is the initial velocity, everybody? So x-axis is equals to u cos theta.
Cos theta.
And as we all know, x-axis, what is the acceleration, everybody? Acceleration is
0.
0.
So now, if you notice it, as we all know, so acceleration is 0 in the sense of, so who is constant always in x-axis?
Velocity.
Yes, as a is equals to 0 in x direction, what is always constant? All of you?
Velocity.
Yes.
Velocity.
So velocity remains constant. But if you notice it in y direction, all of you observe, y direction, what is the velocity? Ui is equals to u sin
Sin
theta.
theta.
And what is the acceleration? Everywhere it is against to gravity. So that we all knows that g is always minus or plus?
Negative.
Always.
Minus.
Understand? That is what you have to remember. So here velocity changes are constant, variable velocity. Understand, everybody? All of you?
Yes, sir.
Very.
Variable velocity. That is what you have to remember. Understand? Any doubt, everybody? Clear? So now, for example, I'll say in x-axis, let me take the ball is projected with the angle, some angle. So now if you notice it, I have been projected like this. For example, I'll say, so example, let me take x direction, I have been projected with a 4i cap. That is what my velocity. So means in the sense of, so every point, suppose this is what my projectile motion. So at every point, what is the velocity of the body? Ux is equals to, what is the velocity, everybody? 4 meter per. So everywhere ux is what? 4. Here also ux is equals to 4. Here also ux is equals to 4, and here also ux is equals to how much, Ra? 4. Yes or no? All of you, please respond. So, as we know, why is constant? Because as we all knows that acceleration is 0 means, what do you mean by acceleration? We all knows that the rate of
Change in velocity.
rate of change of velocity. So rate of change of velocity is 0 means in the sense of velocity is equals to what? Everybody.
Constant.
Velocity is equals to constant. That is what you have to remember. Understand, Ra? Yes. So I
Yes,
will take, let me take now. So as I said, the initial velocity is 4I cap. So at velocity at every point x-axis, let me take Vx. So Vx is equals to Ux. Here also Vx is equals to Ux. Here also Vx is equals to what? Everybody?
yes.
Ux. Now, but what about Vy? Velocity in y direction. Okay, let us verify. Now, let me take now. I have been thrown with a 3j cap. What is that? 3j cap. So at this point, so velocity may be 3. Now, when it will reach us to here, it is going against to gravity. So we all knows that when the ball is thrown upward, once after reaching to the maximum height, final velocity will become what? Everybody? Yes, please. 0. Sir, no. When it will be returns again, suppose I have thrown with the 3 meter per second, and when it is returns before touching the ground, also what is the velocity? Minus 3
meter per second.
Understanding, but it is downward direction. Yes, sir, Nora?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, that is good. So now I have thrown the body with the 3 meter per second. So after to reaching to this position, maybe it may becomes 2. After reaching to this position, maybe become 1. That is what Vy. So Vy is equals to 1. Here Vy equal to. Once it is reaches to the maximum height, then at this point, Vy will become what? Everybody?
0.
0. Understanding? Understand, Pradosh? Vy is equals to 0.
Sir.
And again, it will comes to this position. Again, Vy will become what? Minus 1 maybe. 1.
Minus 1.
And here again 2. And before touching the ground, again it will become what? Everybody?
Oh, minus 3.
Please. Understanding? Vy is
Minus
equals to how much, Ra? Vy is equals to 3. Understand?
3.
So that is what you have to remember. So first, when it is going up, V value decreases or increases? All of you. Decreases.
Decrease.
When it is coming down, V value, what will happen? Vy value
Increase.
increases. That is what. So V first it decreases. Vy first it is decreases. So at maximum height it will become what? Everybody. At maximum
0.
height, Vy will become everyone 0. And then after what will happen? Laksha? And after from maximum to again coming down. After that, what will happen? It Vy increases or decreases? Everybody increases. Okay. So that is what you have to remember. So if you notice it, so vertical speed, all of you observe at the point maximum at this point. So what is the vertical speed? All of you. Exactly perpendicular. So maximum height, vertical speed is how much, Ra? Yes, please. Vertical speed, Vy is equals how much at the maximum height? Here, at this
0.
point. Vy is
0 meter per second.
0. So 0 meter per second. So that is what you have to remember it. Okay, guys, everybody understood? All of you? So this is only called as projectile motion. Now, let us see till here if you have understood very well, then let us see what is the terms or terminologies we are going to use in this projectile motion and how to derive the formulas for that. That is all we are going to discuss with the help of equations of motion. So once again, I will quickly revise the equations of motion. So we all know 3 equations of motion we have from class 9th we are studying. What is the 3 equations of motion? V is equals
V
to
equal to U plus
at.
AT.
S is equals to ut plus half at square,
AT.
and v square is equals to u square plus 2as. I hope you all are very familiar when to use this equation, what equation we have to use, when we have to use. Am I correct, everybody? Anybody
Yes,
don't?
sir.
Yes. If you don't know, please let me know. I hope you all understand. You all knows very well. Am I correct, everybody?
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Yes, sir.
So let us see that. Now, what is the terminologies we are going to use and how to use it and all. So till here, anyone having any doubt, please kindly let me know. Clear, everybody? Yes. So this is only ways to called as projectile motion. Now, so projectile motion, x-axis, what is the speed, everybody? U cos theta. Sorry, velocity. Velocity, initial velocity is u cos theta. And y-axis, what is the initial velocity? U sin theta. Yes or no? u sin theta. Clear, everybody? So now let us continue the terms what is we are going to study in this projectile motion and what is the formulas for that and how to derive it. Everything we'll discuss it. Shall we start now, all of you? Yes. So let me take any kind of body. For example, let me consider here Mr. Pradosh is standing to the ground level. Now he has been thrown a ball. Forget about the person also. The ball will again settle at the ground after some distance. Am I right or wrong, everybody? All of you?
Yes, sir.
Please.
Sir.
So now this is the initial position of the body and this is the final position of the body. Of course, both are lying in the same surface. So that is only we used to called as horizontal range. What is to call, everyone? We used to called as horizontal range. Horizontal range. And already I have told, I have been projected with some theta. So that is what with x-axis. So with x-axis with some theta, I have been projected with initial velocity. The theta is called as what? Angle of, all of you, angle of projection. Understand? Angle of projection. And we all knows that vertical component Vy. What is the Vy? So Uy is equals to U sin theta. And Ux is equals to what will become?
U cos theta.
Cos theta.
U cos theta.
The body is been projected with what velocity? Velocity U. Okay. So now when it will reach us to the exactly somewhere final velocity, the velocity of a body in y-axis, we become what at this point? All of you, 0. That is what we called as maximum height reached by the body. What is that? All of you, maximum height reached by the body. So how to derive it? What is the formula? Everything we'll discuss it. Now, let me take one more thing. That is the most important one and the first one. Observe. Mr. Pradosh is dropped the ball here and it has been taken and coming again here. So definitely to reach this position, it will take certain time. Yes or no, everybody? Yes, please. So that is only which to called as capital T. So called as time of flight. Means in the sense of simple words, if I want to say, what is the total time which the stone or a ball is in the air? Understand, Rudreshwar? What is the total time the stone is in the air? That is only which to called as what? Time of flight. Yeah, that is what. So we all know in 9th class. Suppose if I projected a ball to reach a maximum height, it has taken 3 seconds means. Again from here to reach the ground. Again it will take how much time? Everybody? 3 seconds. You all people know or not? Everybody? So the body is projected upwards to again reach after reaching to the maximum height. So again to reach the ground, it will take the same time. Am I correct, everybody?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So same way, if the ball is projected here to reach maximum height, till that let me take that is a T. And from here to here, again from maximum height to ground, again that time also how much it will come? Everybody? It is also will come T, means the sense of capital T. Time of flight is equals to what? T plus T, which is equals to how much?
2T.
2T. That you can you remember, brothers? Understood, brothers?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So let us consider now time of flight. So what are the formulas are? Each and every formula you can by heart it. Of course, derivations also very important. You should remember that. Have you understand everybody basic idea of projectile motion? Are you clear, everyone? Yes,
Yes, sir.
that is what.
Yes, sir.
Now, first one, time of flight. Time of what? Time of flight. So the time of flight, what is the capital? What is the symbol? Time of flight, everyone.
Capital T.
Okay. So
Capital
T. Yeah, capital T is equals to 2u sin theta divided by g. So this is the formula. This is the formula for time of flight. Now, if you notice it here, so let me take the 3 points now with a different color I represent. So as I told you to reach the maximum height, it will take, what is the time, everyone? It will take the T. Yes or no? So let me consider this point is A, all of you observe, and this point is B, and this point is what? Everyone? C. So first, if I will find the journey from A to B, because if I find from A to B means, then B to C is also what? Exactly same. Yes or no, guys?
Same.
Yeah. So I'm moving from A to B means my journey is considered, my motion is considered in y axis or x axis. Everybody notice it and tell me. Y axis or x axis? I'm going what? Y axis. Yes or no, Ra? Brothers? Yes or no? So that is what? Because motion we are considering in what, guys? We are considering motion in only what? Only in y axis. Understanding? So because x axis acceleration is what, Ra? 0. Okay.
0.
So motion in y-axis. Motion in y-axis, let me consider from A to B first. Shall we start now? Everybody? All of
Yes,
you?
sir.
So A to B means I will draw only half of the curve. So this is what A to B. Am I correct, everyone? Please respond, Ra. A
Yes,
to
sir.
B. So see, A point is at ground and C point is also what? Everybody, C point is also
Ground.
Okay. So this projectile motion we used to call, what we used to call? Ground to ground. What we used to call, everybody? We used to call as
Ground to ground.
ground
Ground
to
to
ground. Because next we'll study not from the ground, from certain height we'll make the projectile motion. That is what. So let me consider from A to B. Now we are considering motion in what axis? Y axis or X axis? All of you.
X.
Yes, please. Y axis. Y axis means what is the Y axis component? Initial velocity. Everybody. What is the initial velocity y axis? All of
Y
you.
sin theta. U sin theta.
Yes. So uy is equals to what is that, Ra? U
U
sin
sin theta.
theta. Okay. And so as we all know, acceleration in y axis, what is the acceleration? A is equals to
Minus G.
minus c. And it reaches to the maximum point, point B. Then what is the velocity? Vy is equals to, everybody?
0.
0. Purima, understand? So now you know initial velocity and you know final velocity and you know that acceleration. So now let us find the time. So what is the time taken from A to B? So t is equals to, I want it. Time I want it. So calculate it fastly. What is the time? So I have to take capital T as small t. A to B, small t. Then B to C is also what, everybody? B to C is also small t.
Small t.
So that is what. So respond now. A to B. So let me take, let A to B, time is equals to what I will take? Small t. So now, so from which equation of motion you have to apply? All of you observe, you know, initial
First.
velocity, final velocity, first equation. So equations of motion. So what is the first equation, everybody? V is equals to U plus A.
half it.
So final velocity is what? Everybody, final velocity is
0.
0. So which is equals to initial velocity. U means uy. So U sin theta
Sin theta.
plus minus G
Minus
u
G.
t. So which is equals to Zt is equals to U sin theta and T is equals to what, guys? Everyone.
U sin theta by G.
Equals to U sin theta by what? Z. So we
G.
all know total time. What is the total time is equals to? Time of flight. Total time,
2t.
time of flying is equals to what is that, Ra? Others?
2t.
Times of t. Is it right or wrong? So we all knows the t value. So what is the time of flight? Total t is equals to 2 into
2u sin theta
sin theta
divided by G.
divided by z, which is equals to what will come? 2u sin theta divided by z. So
G.
this is only we used to call as, what is to call, guys? Time of
flight.
Time of flight. So time of flight from A to B and again from B to C. So we all knows that this is the point A. So after reaching to the maximum height, we all knows that. So final velocity is what? Everybody, final
0.
velocity is equals to 0. So from A to B, we'll consider as a time t. Then same way, once it will reaches to the ground. So that point is B. So B to C is also what is the time? Everybody, equal interval. Yes or no? That
T.
is one. So t plus t, what is the total time? T plus t is equals to 2t. Understand? So that is what you have to remember. Any doubt, guys, in this? Ask me. Clear? Everyone?
Yes, sir.
So this is the first case. Solve it now. I'll give time. Everybody solve it. Morning, call to Asvita. Ask her to join. Why is she not join? Time of flight. Have you understand, brothers?
Sir.
Yeah. Anything doubt? Ask me. Ishali.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Or else you can apply second equation of motion also. So how, sir? Let us see. So anyhow, body is traveling from point A and body is reaches to the point C. Now tell me, what is the displacement finally in towards the y-axis, everybody? What is the displacement towards the y-axis? Nothing. Yes or no? What is the displacement towards the y-axis? You consider y direction. All of you. So if you consider y direction, tell me now, what is the displacement shown by the body? From A to C directly. I'm calculating C. First I made it what now? A to B alone. Am I right, everybody? All of you?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Now let me calculate directly A to C. So A to C means you can see that body is starting from A, going to B, and again coming back to the what? C point. Am I right, all of you?
Yes, sir.
Yes. So now I'm taking total time. So we all knows that here. So as we know, this is x-axis and this is what? You have to draw straight line. Don't draw like incline. So it has to be straight line. So if you draw straight line, so this is that. So I have been inserted with some initial velocity u. So that this is the theta. So y component, what is that? Uy is equals to u. Everyone.
Sin
Sin theta. Okay. So that is what. So from A to C directly. So what is the initial velocity, everybody? U sin theta. Next. So AY, what is the acceleration? We all know. So at every point, acceleration is acting. All of you.
Minus.
So
minus
minus G and total time. So total time is equals to what? A to C. Time of flight.
Capital T.
Capital T. So now, what is the displacement shown by the body towards the y-axis? For example, x-axis means I can say, yes or no, brothers? X-axis means we used to call something. It is the initial position, it is the final position. So x-axis, it has been shown displacement. What is it called as? Yes, that is called as?
Horizontal.
Yeah, that is horizontal we can. What is that? That is only called, I told you something, horizontal range, which is called as R. But if you notice it, what about the SY? Displacement in x-axis, I can say R. But what about the displacement in y direction, everybody? It went and came down. So what is the displacements in y direction, everybody?
Zero.
Zero.
Understand, everybody? Displacement in y direction is what? All of you?
Zero.
Zero. So now
Zero.
you apply the, yeah, you know the time period, you know initial displacement. So time and displacement, which equation, everyone? S equals
Second.
to ut plus half at square.
AT
So apply it fastly, everybody, and tell me what will happen. So displacement in y direction is what? Displacement in y direction is 0. Initial
Zero.
velocity u sin theta. T value is capital T plus half into G value is minus G.
Minus.
T value is capital T. So that's
Capital
all.
T.
So you can apply. So u sin theta into capital T. This one minus gt square by 2. Am I right? Everybody clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes. So now both the things, somebody is constant. Can I take it out? Who is that? All of
T.
you.
T.
Okay.
T.
So T is constant. So now which is equals to 0. Here nothing is there in 0. So which will turns into what? Everybody. U sin theta minus gt by 2. Am I right?
GT
No.
by 2.
T will come this side. 0 by anything. What? 0.
Zero.
So
Zero.
I'll write it. U sin theta is equals to gt by 2. Am I right? Now 2 will come this
Yes,
side. So it will turns into what? 2u
2u
sin theta is
2
equals
U
to
sin theta equal to GT.
now capital T is equals to what will come? All of you.
2 U sin theta by
Sin theta by G. So we got the same answer or not? Everyone. This is only we used to called as,
Sir.
what is to say?
Time of.
time of flight.
That is clear? Understood, everybody?
Yes, sir.
Yes. So make
Sir.
it. Yes, Rudreswar, ask me.
Sir, if you throw from hand means it will go to ground, no, sir. Distance from ground and our hand is different, no, sir. How, sir? Displacement we are
That is
taking
what
zero.
we will take it from that is what, from the ground. That is why I'm considering like from the ground. Like suppose you are standing on the, suppose you are like this, Rudreswar, imagine just. So you have thrown the ball from your hand, so it will go down and again it will come like that. Understand? That is what this is called as ground to ground. Later we will study from a certain height if the ball is thrown. Suppose you are standing on the above the tower. Then from this point if you have thrown, then how it will be projectile motion. Or if you are standing on the ground, then if you have thrown from here ball, then how it will be. That is all we will calculate. We will study it. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Now I am considering the ball is, the projectile motion is from ground to ground. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that is what. Understood?
Understood, sir.
Everybody understood? So
Yes, sir.
this is for what? Everybody?
Ground to ground.
Ground to ground. Any doubt? Once it is over, we will proceed to next. So this is the first term. So first terminology which you have to remember is time of flight. So what is the formula time of flight? Time of flight is equals to all of you. T is equals, capital T is equals to 2u sine
2u.
theta by G.
By G.
Clear? Any doubt, brothers?
Sir.
Sai Gardik, Manya and Samya, understood?
Yes, sir.
Solve it any method. Next, let us find. We all know at certain point somebody is zero. What is that? Velocity is zero. So that height only we used to call as what? Everybody. We used to call as maximum height. So write that. Maximum height. Maximum height. So maximum height formula, you all knows that. That is also y direction or x direction. Everybody.
Y direction.
Y direction.
Y direction.
So again, you consider from A to B, your choice, or B to C, your choice, whatever it is. So ground to ground. This is called as ground to ground. And you draw, maybe I may draw a little slightly inclined. So you have to draw maximum height, H. So maximum height, we all knows that. So that is what we'll consider. So at this case, so we all knows that Vy is equals to what? At this point, everybody, Vy is equals to 0. And so let me take from A to B. So this is point A, this is point B, and this is the point C. Again, I'm considering y direction from A to B, because for finding the height, we have to use from A to B only. Am I right or wrong? 9th class you might be studying. Yes, that is what. So we all know, so again, same thing. So apply y-axis and apply x-axis. So y-axis, what is the component? Initial velocity, uy is equals to, everybody?
Sine theta.
U sine theta. Okay. So uy is equals to u sine theta. Next, vy is equals to what? Everybody, 0. And acceleration is equals to what? At acceleration in y direction, minus h. And maximum height attained by that, that is what? Displacement. S is equals to h. Is it okay, everybody? S
Yes,
is
sir.
equals to h.
Yes,
Now
sir.
see, no time is mentioned, but you know displacement, and you know very well velocity, initial velocity and final velocity. Okay. So what is the formula? Which formula will use? Which formula? Velocity and displacement. No time. Which equation, brothers? Third equation of motion.
Third equation.
Yeah, v square is equals to u square plus
2a.
2a. Okay. So what is the final velocity? We all know 0. Initial velocity u sine theta whole square plus 2 into minus g into s means what? H. That is what. So now, which will turns as a, this one can I write as a ab whole square? How I can write? We all knows mathematics. Ab whole square, how I can write? A square b square. So can I write as a u square sine square theta? Am I right, everybody? And this one is minus 2gh. So from that I'll write it as a 2gh is equals to what is that? All of you. 2gh is
U
equals
square
to
sine square theta.
u square sine square theta. So we want h. That is what maximum height. So h is equals to h maximum. H means h maximum. Are you clear, everybody?
Yes, sir.
H maximum is equals to what is the formula? U square
sine square theta by 2g.
divided by
2g.
2g. That is the formula to calculate what, guys? To calculate the maximum height. Understand? So anyone having any doubt, please kindly let me know. Understood or not?
Yes, sir.
Very important. Okay, so nobody should fail to know this. Very, very important. So you should understand all these formulas. Clear? Shali, Manya and Samya, I don't know what they're doing. They are solving or not also, I'm not understand. Solved, ma?
Yes, sir.
So this is the second one. So calculating maximum height. Mr. Sai, are you doing?
Yes, sir.
So this is finish it till here. The video is going to end. You join back and we'll continue. So next third one, 2 terms are over. Then what else is remaining? R. R means what? I told you. R means what? Everybody.
Horizontal.
Horizontal range.
Horizontal range. So we have to calculate it. So let us see that. How to calculate it? RANG, horizontal range. So okay. So finish it fastly. This once it is completed, let me know. I'll take till almost 5:30, 6 o'clock. Okay. Last 3 days I have not taken, correct? That's what. Anyhow, this is very, very tough. It is taking more time even for that. Do you all able to understand or not?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
That is what. Understanding is only very important. See, this chapter still circular motion is there. That is very, very important concept and big concept it is. It will take more time to teach also. So once this, at least by end of this month, we will plan to finish this chapter, but it will take more time. So let's see that. Okay. So meeting is going to